beat, snap a knife, finger, bouncing to the groove. All by themselves, that's the new move. Where I'm from, we like to go dumb. I'm soaking up the game, I'm seeing how it's done. I ain't shorty what they call it, she said the pool palace. What you do, you and your crew. They even got players and thugs doing it too. The more that
U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Tonight we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Let's go. Ready.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game. Stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time. Made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second down.
And this throw incomplete. The defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48, then a return of 8. And the Lions will take over. Looking to put a drive together. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. Ready,
now Milton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Baker. And he gets this one just shy of the 40 down at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
39-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. Cougar, go.
Here's Milton. So left side, it's complete. And he's brought down. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 44-yard line.
19 tight. Rambo 80. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. Ready.
Milton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Baker. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Just need a yard here. Second and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up second and 1.
Hawk 70. hot 70. Big Lion.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Let's go now. Panther 60. Check. Bobcat. Check. Bobcat.
On first down, Carney. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Ready, Warrior 70, Viking 18. 7 Pirates.
Throwing is Milton. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
60 Bison. 79 Broncos.
Here's Milton now to throw. And that is incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
And this one is right down the middle. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. And that flag accepted.
Panther 60, 19, Tiger, 9.
Now a handoff up the middle. Carney. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Mustang 19. 19 Lions.
To throw, it's Milton. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who played best, and don't worry about the rest of them.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
First down.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
32-yard line.
Reload.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The Vikings at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Only able to gain a couple there. That brings up third and a full 10 yards. You talk about this Lions defense. They enter play here number 11, just outside the top 10 in the league in stopping the run.
I always think back to what my defensive coordinator in college used to tell me. Playing against the run is 11 individual battles, man on man. And are you going to win that battle? Are you going to whip the guy across from you and get to the ball carrier, wrap him up, and put him on the ground? Because the one thing he absolutely detested was yards after contact. Tackle him, put him down on the spot.
Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point splits the offense. And we are tied at 7. It's 7 now as they kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
That was a route run, not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To throw is Milton. Now he's going to step up and run. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Check match, check match. Ready? 60 by 6.
Gibbs straight ahead. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. 3rd and 8.
Yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
Come on. Hit. Track 19, Tiger, 19, Tiger.
Operating from the gun. Milton. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 1st down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
This is taken at about the 14. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Here we go.
Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
70 Ranger, 70 Ranger, 70 Timberwolves. Ready,
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. They'll try and do this himself. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd. And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Back to 60, back to 60.
Straight ahead with Gibbs here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9. At the Vikings' 39-yard line.
Drop 60, drop 60.
Operating from the gun. Milton. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. That's complete to DK Metcalf. His first catch. Good for 9 and a 1st down.
The defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run to get on his horse. Still accurate when he throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards. 2nd down.
I do know from experience, if you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Let's go. 19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Ready, go. Ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. And he's got a 1st down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 1st half. All knotted up at 7.
1st down,
70,
Lions.
70. Ready.
They go play action here on 1st down. Finds Gibbs on a check down. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it'll be 2nd down.
Ready. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Hurt. Right there.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Delson in motion. From the gun on 3rd down. Milton. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Jalen Waddle his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions have taken the lead.
The kick is good.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Third and 12. Now back to throw. Working in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Vikings first down.
On play action, they'll throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
Back to throw again. There goes a deep ball, end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Point after right down the middle. That is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. Throwing to start the drive. Milton. Going underneath. Gibbs has it. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 35-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it. But I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities. And I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6. Throw left side, complete. That's Baker. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it third down and less than a yard.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Let's go now. 60 Vikings, 60 Vikings.
On third and short, they give it a tight end. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first.
How about that there? No frittles, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Cut my team. Cut 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Go, Reed, go.
Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
18 Rattler, 18 Rattler. Go.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And now, is it 4th down? No, it's 3rd down. And the field goal unit is out onto the field. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
Now a hit and a loose football. And this is scooped up by the Lions.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Now a run here off the RPO. A rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Greg Newsom. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of 45. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 6. And he's got this to Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson. 55 yards. And the Vikings have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Looking to put a drive together.
Let's go. Hey, check that. Street. Bronco 80.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Terrell Bernard is in on the tackle. Now 2nd and 9.
At the 36-yard line.
Cougar 19. 79 Broncos.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Off the play fake. Milton. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. And they'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Cowboy 80. 7 Pirates.
From the gun on 3rd down. Milton. And that's caught inside the 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for Detroit. 41 yards.
1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
60 Vikings. 60.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll get this to Baker. So 8 yards on the completion there. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Brandon, as you know, sometimes it's a lot tougher to run with these tight ends nowadays in the NFL. They're just bigger wide receivers. He lined up on the left side of formation, ran a drag route across the field, and tried to work his way open. He was able to make the catch, but the defenders were there. Couldn't do a whole lot with it afterwards.
All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for it first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Milton. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Jalen Waddle with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Lions have answered back with a 3rd quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. The extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 6-point game. Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard
line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. And the last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
70.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's out of bounds, able to take this route to the 35.
And the Vikings,
They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
A gain of 5.
Fourth quarter coming up here on
Second
Thursday
and
Night
5.
Primetime. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage.
Behind the line of
A
scrimmage.
loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Ready? Vikings.
They're going to look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. The Vikings send out their punter. On, we think, to punt, though he's faked it earlier, but he was unsuccessful. That flag, that'll push him back 5. The Vikings send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Here we go. Cowboy 80.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
No! Let's go now. Go!
They'll go with the keeper. And he's going to have the Lions 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good. For the Lions, 1st down. A gain of 1 yard. And the Lions, 1st down.
Third. Right there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
Off play action. Milton. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So that, Charles, obviously just a game changer here this 4th quarter, and they're an extra point away from stealing the lead.
And stealing is the absolute right word for it, because that'll work on your sideline.
There's still time remaining. When you think about it, you go from the offense with a lead in the ball, trying to sort things away, to a completely different scenario now after the return for a score. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Got it. Ready?
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they have to try and move past that pick six because now they're dealing with a fourth quarter deficit, and they need this drive to end in points. Throwing after the interception, Milton. And will find his man to the outside. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10.
70. Buffalo 18.
Operating from the gun, Milton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, to watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
60 Maverick.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll let this go deep for Waddle. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That was for the lead right there. They know they're in a position where fortune favors the brave. So they took their shot, but couldn't connect.
Viking 18, Cup 19. 19 Lions.
Off the play fake, Milton. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up third down.
And 15.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Panther 11. Mustang 19.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he bats it away. It falls down incomplete.
And that's where you want to use your big tight end. Let him use his size and frame to go up and get the deep ball in the end zone. But that time, they couldn't connect.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
The 46-yard line.
The Lions turned away on fourth down. And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll try and run some clock here, so keep it on the ground. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
Get it. Ready.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Down the left sideline. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Vikings will add to their fourth quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. And that one not returnable. It's over the back line to the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Buffalo 18. Buffalo 80. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick.
Now Milton. That's complete to Baker. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
Top 50. Top 60.
Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And a result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. They come up now on 2nd and 2.
Viking 18. Cup 19. Cup 19.
He'll look to throw. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like that there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
He'll try to pick it up himself. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
Partner, they've got one chance left to keep this one going. And I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now. Has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest, and remember what's worked and what hasn't. Because right here, he needs the best play of the game in order to keep this one alive.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game not quite in hand yet. We'll likely see all 3 timeouts defensively and then reassess where we are. How about this? He's to the 10. This offensive line starting to win up front. You win that battle in the trenches, you can kind of wear them down here late.
So you bring in the second part to that equation, and that's the big running back, the big bruiser, who can get more than what's blocked and break a few extra tackles and gain yardage.
60 Eagles. 60 Eagles.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And, Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for Minnesota, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Lions,